I really, really want to drill it into the brains of guys that are small to medium. Y'all have so many advantages that you're not taking advantage of, because if you came in with all those skills I listed before and your anal game is peak, like, holy crap on a cracker. You are going to be the best lover she ever had.
Welcome back to Muse on the Mic. I'm Riley.
And I'm Emily. Thanks everyone for joining us on another great episode here on Muse on the Mic on YouTube. Taking a hot, controversial topic to the people as per the people's requests. So, Riley, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about your junk, gentlemen. We're talking about your egos. We're going to give some really good information and have a little bit of a giggle with you guys because, as we've said so many times, when we're talking about does size matter, it is not the size of your boat, gentlemen. It's the motion of the ocean. So let's get into this topic together.
You know what? I think men put this one on themselves more than we ever could. And yet, listen, as owners of a body rub parlor, a sexy happy ending massage place, we've been in the business for a long, long time. We've met a lot of dudes. We've met a lot of penises with a lot of opinions, right? And I've met big boys where it doesn't work very well. I've met smaller boys where it is the most vigorated, like, ready to go piece of meat you've ever met, right? So it's funny because I feel like from the men that I've talked to intimately anyway, that have this insecurity about if size matters, is some trauma based on something some girl did way back when. Some woman, some girl in school, some spin the bottle gone wrong, something happened, and some idiot girl who was probably too stupid or her frontal cortex wasn't even developed yet decided to make a smart aleck comment. And from that point on, you've just carried this trauma with you. And I think we've got some really cool videos that highlight, first of all, let's giggle. Second of all, if we can't laugh at ourselves, we've got nothing left. But I think the ladies' opinions are actually way different than guys assume they are. And the way they kind of carry that assumption, like ego forward and ego dependent on it. It's interesting and sad to me because there are men carrying this with them for no reason. It's actually not that much of a thing.
And I think too, like, I mean, we've talked about micro penises and we've talked also about how extremely large penises aren't necessarily where it's at, but it's that middle of the road, the average, the normal. That's not a bad thing. This is where most of you gentlemen live, and women are perfectly happy within that category.
100%, right? If you've got the skills, it just feels good. I mean, that's the whole point, right? No one said there needs to be a ginormous, like, train trucking through there. You don't need the biggest plug that ever lived. Like, it literally just needs to appease the first 2-3 inches of inside our vagina, and everything else is external. So, like, what are we focus more on finding the damn clit than worrying about the size of your junk? Because let me tell you, if you can't find the clit, I don't care if your penis is non-existent or if it's 4 feet tall, I'm not coming. So there's that, right? Like, that literally is the root of it all, is make her come.
And you know what I was thinking too? I mean, beyond penetration, which is obviously what defines intercourse, I think it defines it pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about a great sexual experience, Emily. Like, it's about the connection, the making out, the hair pull, the way he caresses your body. Like, there are so many components that makes a sexual experience good that I think, honestly, the penis is a portion, but it's just a portion of that pie.
Literally. So if he has good head game, he can eat pussy really well, right? If he's a really badass dirty talker, if he's got a little either dom or sub side to him, or maybe he can switch, which would be ideal because every lady has her day and her taste, right? If you've got good finger game, if you've got good flirtation skills, if you're a great kisser, if you work on all those other skills, again, it doesn't even matter the size of your penis, because let's knock the big boys for a minute, because they often can't stay hard. they often also lean on it as their only move. So even, or at best, maybe they give good head and they have big penis. That's 2 moves. Do you know how many moves there are in sex? Like the world doesn't have enough fingers to count. So we're narrowing down this importance to one tiny aspect where bigger is actually not better. It can be painful. It can lead to internal bleeding. It can turn to like aches and pains for the rest of the week. It can, and that's not the sexy, like, oh, I did some aggressive things yesterday. Listen, you could be a great spanker and she'll struggle to sit at work at the office the next day and be thinking about you the whole damn time. I'd take that booty pain versus I just had a 12-foot truck run through my vagina. That's just not fun. It's just not fun. And it looks a certain way aesthetically in porn. But I think we've all learned, I hope we've all learned by now, audience, have we all learned by now that porn is not real? Porn is not reality. And sure, just like having big, huge, I say that having big, huge titties in porn, but that whole like 90s vibe, right? Of the big like plastic boobies, the big lips, the big whatevers, and then this big honking penis. Like, sure, but that's one genre and one look within that genre. That's still not the other 9,000 genres that make up human sexuality, right? Like humans in general do weird shit with their sex. Like the penetration part is the most vanilla. We've out here people making toys that strap on. We've got people out here having sex with items around the house, or like there's been TLC shows about people that make love to their car. Like people do weird shit. Why are we worrying so much about this one thing? And I think we just need to start off with this funny video because it'll cut the tension, because I can feel it already in the room. I can hear the clicking of the keyboard and the comments being like, yeah, right, bullshit. I think after we have a good laugh, we're actually going to break some of those stigmas, because we love to smash stigma around here. Who we got for this video, Riley?
This is Scott B. Henry.
He's a hoot.
I think it's fair to say that most people have seen this video.
It snowed 4 inches last night. Is that a lot, ladies? Or no? You need like more. That's That's nothing. That's like no snow. It's average. Is it average?
The video by itself is amazing, but of course the comments are better. I don't even know if she meant this to be funny, but it's amazing. There's no snow around here. It's a desert. 4 inches seems wonderful to me. You gotta make sure you really press the ruler into the base of the snow to get an accurate read. It's a cute amount of snow. It might be enough to make you late for work, but not enough to keep you home all day. I bet if it's your first time seeing snow, it'd feel like a lot. That's a bless your heart amount of snow. Yeah, it snowed 4 inches, but the weatherman promised 6.
3 seconds.
I love that. First of all, I love the OG creator. He has the funniest face, this kid. And it was the most like Canadian feeling thing. I don't even know if that kid's Canadian, but it felt Canadian to me.
Yeah.
Because what is 4 inches of snow when you're a weatherman? Because weathermen lie every day. They get it wrong every day. And so in snow, 4 inches to Canadians is actually not that big at all. If you live in like Texas, 4 inches of snow is like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. But that's exactly the point. It's all relative.
And what I like about the comments is, depending on the woman, that could be plenty, or to some, it's enough to be late for work but not miss a whole day. Like, just how she feels about it. It was so funny.
Listen, TikTok comments, Instagram comments, the comment section is where it's at. There are lots of funny videos out there, but the comments can be funnier than even the funny video. I live for the comments sometimes. And he picked the perfect ones. Those were absolutely hysterical. I love how like tongue-in-cheek people can be. But we've got another video to share with some really awesome information about size and even some solutions, some surgical options, innovations, and technology and what the world can offer you. And some of the comments under that video, I will make sure it's linked in the description, because it's worth a read if you're a guy who feels a little unsure or maybe a lot unsure about your size and does it matter? Because the ladies disagree with you boys. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think you said it best at the beginning, that this is something that you guys have really put on yourself. And listen, I don't blame you. Us women are very hard on ourselves as well. But I hope watching these videos makes you realize that you are doing this to yourself and inflicting this pain for years for no reason.
Right? Just let your penis live. Let it be free and hard and happy. Right? So we've got this video from, I forget his name.
SCI Body Therapy.
Love this guy's videos. His demos are so good. Education you can digest. So let's take a watch because this is really interesting.
Is your penis too small? We're going to have a very frank conversation. And this right here is because I'm still sick. My throat is scratchy, but we're going to try and get through this. You guys have to stop sending me DMs about this. Like, I get DMs and messages on the Patreon and everything else. And you guys, you don't have to be insecure about this. All right. But I'm going to give you an answer. And if you walk away crying, then I'm sorry. That's on you. You just have to learn, you got to learn where you got to learn what the clitoris is and how to mouth whistle that, I guess. Learn how to play the harmonica. All right. The pelvic harmonica. This right here is your standard tissue paper, toilet paper roll, okay? If you are significantly smaller than this, okay, in either length or girth, like around, okay, there may be, okay, and once you start crying, all right, there might be some issues with some women, some of your partners. They may think this is a little bit small. Personally, like this in my hand, especially, like if you just asked me, I'd be like, oh, well, that's not bad, okay? And this is about 4.5 inches long and about 4.7 inches around. Now, I know what you guys are going to do. Nah, I don't want paper cuts and people going to the ER because they're like, some guy on the internet told me I needed to measure. Do it from the outside, all right? Okay, if you're bigger than this, you're awesome. If you're smaller but not by much, stop worrying about it. Like I said, okay, this penis size, I'm going to consider this addressed because I have given you a definitive measure, and we'll ask the ladies in the comments, like if they were rocking this, and everybody has one of these at home, there might be a little bit of variation, but it ain't going to be much. Okay, if you have this at home, you can look at it. Would you be happy? Would you be happy with this? We'll just do it for you. Or can you reassure them that there are other things that you can do that will make up for any shortcomings of the man-witch? If you have a small wiener, is there any way to supersize that sausage? Now, if you know anything about women or have delved into the research like I have, you would know that girth generally matters more than length. And there, you're actually in luck because there is a procedure where they can take some of your own fat and basically stick it in and inject it all around the circumference of your penis, making it thicker and thus more pleasurable for your partners. It should be noted that the fat injections don't always redistribute evenly, so you could end up with dimpling, or basically cellulite, on your penis, which I guess textured for her pleasure, but cosmetically less than desirable. If you're not into medical procedures, it should be noted that certain types of shops out there actually sell little devices that roll on over this. It's basically a superhero outfit for your penis. And obviously these are completely removable, but come in all kinds of varieties and can add a significant amount of girth and texture. Now, if we're talking about increasing length, there's a few options here as well. One method that has been used across cultures is penis weights, penile stretching. So essentially, there are devices out there that kind of hang on the end of here and gradually stretch this tissue out. Now, the downside to this is that it can cause penile damage, like you can actually damage the spongy tissue inside of here. The upside is that it does seem to work, unfortunately, at the expense of that ever important girth. Another option for increasing length involves a weird fact that up to a third of your actual penis is hidden inside your body. And on either side, and kind of on the top, you have ligaments that stabilize the erection. And what you can do is go in and surgically sever these, allowing a bit of that inner manwich to protrude further to the outside. Now, if you remember what I said, those ligaments help stabilize things. So when they're not there, you may end up with an erection that is a bit floppier than you want it. And this can increase your chances of having an unfortunate event like a penile break. A bit of good news here at the end. If you are moderately overweight or if you are an extremely chunky monkey, losing weight can actually make your penis bigger. And this isn't because it's growing, it's because you're shrinking. As this fat pad around the pubic area starts to shrink, it can reveal substantial amounts of your bone roller coaster. The general guideline is for every 20 pounds, you get somewhere between a half an inch and an inch. In my humble opinion, it's better to learn to work with what you got and devote any extra energy you may have toward learning about female anatomy, because that knowledge can make up for a lot of shortcomings.
I love his videos. They're so good at explaining and giving the visual. But one thing I really want to touch on is just because you men are all very different, you have to keep in mind women are not cookie cutter. We are all very different as well. And some of us have very narrow vaginal canals. Some of us have lower cervixes that could be painful during sex if the penis hits it too hard or too often. So you have to understand everybody's body is different. It's not just you guys we're talking about.
1,000%. There's even cycle variances. Throughout the month, there's changes for women.
You want to go deeper? You want to go all the way? Let's go deep throat.
Good night, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Throat here on Muse on the Mic with your favorite sexologist, Emily Muse. And I'm here to talk to you tonight about one of your senses, taking it away. We've talked about being tied up, we've talked about being blindfolded, but what we're going to talk about tonight is sound deprivation. We are going to tweak and manipulate how your mind works to up the pleasure factor, to up the adrenaline factor, and up the creativity of your own mind that will push your body to orgasm quicker, deeper, repeatedly, more intensely, or all of the above. What a win. So sound deprivation roots actually back to a bunch of pleasure play, but also meditation. When you're trying to silence the mind, especially in this noisy, messy, loud world that we live in, turning all the televisions off, turning your phone on silent, and just sitting in silence can make your inner thoughts, your needs, your decompression and digestion of life's stresses, life's problems, your goals, your manifestations, and your empowerment speaks louder when you take out the background noise. I wouldn't even bless regular daily noise as white noise. It's loud most of the time. And the kids are screaming and the phone's ringing and just things are everywhere. And the dog's barking and you just want silence. The power in that can actually help direct your mind to the places it most needs to go to seek out your healing, your best creativity, the motivation to try something new, to launch that new business, whatever it is that you've been kind of hoeing and humming about. When you take out the sound, things become much clearer and your own voice, your own intuition will speak loudly. So let's take all of that and imagine the power it has when you're naked. Now, what sound deprivation can actually do in a sex scene, a lovemaking session with your favorite sex worker or your partner at home, is it allows a deeper focus. You become so hyper-focused on sensation. You don't know what's coming next. Let's say you're not blindfolded. You can see but you can't hear. So you don't know if your partner just flipped on that vibrator and is
You like that? You want more? Subscribe to the Patreon and I'll take you deep throat.
Listen, I know we talk about sex ed so often on the pod, but this is a perfect example, because if we were taught anatomical things like this from the beginning, that vaginas have different sizes, that the cervix can sit lower, that your cycle might make things a little drier, a little bendier, a little more rigid, all kinds of different things, would then men automatically lead with, oh, I'm not equipped enough? Or would they lead with, I need to find those girls?
Yeah.
Because those girls are thinking, I need to find those men, because get the big boys away from me. It would send them to the ER. And that's not fun nor funny, right? So learning about people's bodies and therefore the variances would almost not completely eliminate, but it would lessen this insecurity so much just based on information. And the way this guy explains science makes it so damn digestible. You're not like, wait, what? I don't know what those terms mean. His little visuals are so good. And I think it's important for guys to drop down in the comments and take a look at how some women reacted specifically to that paper towel roll or toilet paper roll. Because let's be real, on a roll of toilet paper, it looks inner and unassuming, right? But if you pick that thing up and put 2 fingers in it, you're kind of like, whoa, that's dick and a half. Like, that is a lot of dick. It is thick and it is longer than average, in my opinion. And for many women, that can be so painful. And painful sex ain't fun, boys. Listen, if someone was sitting there just like stabbing pain into the base of your penis every time you fucked, you wouldn't want to do it as much as your instincts tell you should. It's just a real thing. Who wants to be bleeding for 3 days after one good love-making session with their hubby? Like, that's a crappy way to live too, right? So it's about adjusting and making adjustments, or using some of the resources in this modern world that are available. There's a million toy options. Cock rings can swell you up and kind of give you some extra girth and some blood lock in there. There's penis extenders that can give you a couple inches length if you want, just as a temporary external toy to use. And then some of these amazing surgical options that this guy explained. The fat transfers, wild.
It is. I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily recommend it. I think it's taking it a bit far, because I think there's a match for everyone. Just like a man and a woman don't always line up morally or religiously, or like, there's a lot of different factors. And I think bodies is one of them. You're going to find your right match. And that's why you try people out and date around and find what works for you.
You know what? I thought I was surprised by the fat transfer, but I was less surprised by it in that sense, because listen, women fat transfer all over the place. We fill in our hip dips. We fill in a thigh gap. We change our lips. We change our cheeks. We change our boobs. We take it out of our tummy and stick it into our butt. Like, there are women that do fat transfers to make their labia puffier. Some, it's a postmenopausal thing, because you do lose some volume. So you want that volume back, like, because it adds more surface, more feeling, right? And I think it does make sense. I mean, I also think there is a limit, and we all know with plastic surgery, there will always be people that go too far. But as long as it's within that healthy range, no different than being like, I want bigger lips, then I want an extra half an inch around. I want to actually be the toilet paper roll. Then do it. If you can afford it, it's healthy, and you go to a great place, it's really skilled and well reviewed and blah, blah, blah. Go for it. Know your risks as well. I think the weighted lengthening makes absolute sense, because yes, you're stretching it, but that also stretches your blood vessels and makes other things now a problem. Guess what our biggest complaint about guys with huge penises is? That there's not enough blood to keep them hard. So they have to hang on so it's not floppy. And when you're hanging, hold that thought. when you're hanging on to the base of a penis just to keep it hard and you're going in and out of her, that doesn't feel good, right? Like you're literally like punching her pubic area and clit and labia and all the fun things that are supposed to be getting pleasure. And even if you're into kink, that ain't the way you smack a vagina. So, like, I really, really think that men need to be a girl for a day, and you will absolutely understand that not only is bigger not better, but more women prefer small to average than they do large and bigger. And I think that is the main fact that men are in denial about. Our comment section on the episode about if smaller gentlemen are welcome at a massage parlor is to this day our most commented on video, and the dudes were angry. Even though we were saying you're more than welcome and in fact we prefer it, I'd say sex workers as a whole prefer a smaller gent than a big one. We don't want to be riding around on pylon dick all day. We would lose our insides. And who wants that, right? So, and depending the services, what if you're like the Greek queen of the escort world? Do you really want these like ginormous gorilla cocks just coming at you all day? You absolutely don't. And I would say the same if you're married and let's say both you have a high sex drive. You can't be riding on a fire hydrant every day and think that it's just not always going to be great. It's just not. But give me a schmedium guy. We get fucked twice a day. Are you kidding me?
The smaller average guys, again, there's other things you can work on. And we've talked about, oral and things like that. But even speeding up your recovery time is a great thing to really work on. Because if you can do that, again, because let me tell you, big dick has a long recovery time. They need time before they can go again. But when I was thinking about big dick, you had sent me a post where it was showing averages in different places of the world. And I have 3 that kind of stood out to me that I think were all
I love this.
kind of in line with what you guys expect. But I wish this was in inches. It's in centimeters. So my girl brain is not computing properly. But DR Congo / Sudan is 17.9 centimeters is the average.
Ooh.
Wild. And I have to believe that just like they're probably built differently, I have to imagine the women are built a little differently to take that. And I think that's a real thing.
Such a good point. The geographical anatomy needs to align. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Something else I found really funny is Canada, which is where we are, guys. We came in real in the middle, real neutral, which is kind of fitting for us. And the lowest on the list was North Korea at 9.6.
You know what? I hate to say it, but in a weird way, that makes sense. It's a very limited life, right?
But listen, maybe the women of North Korea, their bodies are different, and that is exactly what they need. Because listen, we adapt, just like any animal on the planet that has adapted to survive. And that's where my thought process is, that this is what the women in these countries can handle as well.
Absolutely. Listen, there are even songs based on penis size. Everyone talks about it, and everyone likes to make a little joke about it. But I think at the end of the day, it immediately comes to my mind the song Short Dick Man. It automatically, like, that was when we were in high school era, early high school, late grade school. You think you're the coolest person in the whole world, and songs like that make you giggle because you're young, right? But I think there's a difference between a short dick man who only cares about his dick versus a guy that has all these other skills, because not only is the refractory period better, the head game is probably better. Read those comments. The ladies, almost every single one mention, figure out your oral skills, because we will marry you for that alone. But I'm convinced it is the smaller guys who get way more anal than every big guy ever could.
100% I agree with that.
And Riley is a big anal fan, whether it's watching or otherwise. And like, a man with a giant penis, if they even came at me with that request, I would be running down the street for my life. It has happened in my personal life where someone has not just asked, I just really liked him and decided I'll give it a try. And okay, here's a personal Emily story. Mid-pandemic, I moved apartments. I moved from my old house to my new house. And I remember when I was leaving and cleaning up my room, that like final clean that you do, I kind of looked in my room, the sunlight was coming in the right way, and I kind of went, huh. Because I had like a feature wall behind my bed, and just above my headboard, there was like claw marks in the paint. And it was from that guy trying to do that thing to me. And I broke 3 of my nails. That's how hard I clawed the freaking wall. Just trying to grin and bear for this guy. I'll never attempt to put myself through that again. But I've had very successful and happy, enjoyable, orgasmic anal sex with medium guys that didn't break any nails, didn't require me to grin and bear anything. I didn't white knuckle. I didn't have to grit my teeth or lock my jaw. It was just like, ooh, and it was lovely. So it looked like torture marks.
I feel your pain as you're describing it.
Oh, it was horrible. And I was bummed because if I like him that much and I'm willing to do this, then I want it to be good. And it was not good for either party. It was impossible. I was like, it's just not going to work. Like, just get the fuck out of me. It is not going to work. And in hindsight, dude was an idiot anyway. So like, not even worth the pain or my poor nails. But I just remember that moment. It was years before that it had happened. I lived in that house for a long time. And I just remember moving day. The sun came in at the right moment. Like, oh, just don't make these mistakes again. I was like, okay.
No. Too funny.
Hilarious. But listen, I'm convinced that any guy who's over 9 inches gets told no for anal all the time. And the world has become much more comfortable with anal sex being talked about and done. And I know women that prefer it to vaginal sex. I know women that prefer it during their period week. I know women that prefer it all through pregnancy and postpartum. And like, it is the thing to do. It is their post-menopause preference. Like, it is the preference of so many. I've heard from many dudes the same thing. If she's up for anal, I'm taking anal all day because of the tightness and all the things. Getting a ginormous penis up your butt, no matter how much anal you have, still hurts. And that's just not fun. Like, I really, really want to drill it into the brains of guys that are small to medium. Y'all have so many advantages that you're not taking advantage of, because if you came in with all those skills I listed before and your anal game is peak, like, holy crap on a cracker. You are going to be the best lover she ever had. And that doesn't even include involving toys and other things yet in the mix. That's just skill set alone.
I agree.
So good. So good. I hope this opens conversation to everyone. And blow up our comments again, guys. I know we're going to hear good, bad, and ugly. Come at us, but maybe it'll come at us in a way like I never thought of these things. Or women have tried to tell me this, but I didn't believe them. Guys, I have 25 years experience in the sex work world. I've seen more dicks than you could count in your entire lifetime walking through change rooms. Like, I've seen a lot of them. That doesn't include my personal life. That doesn't even include my porn consumption. Like, that is just physically in person alone. And I will die on the hill that big dick isn't better than small to medium penis. Size doesn't matter. Verdict, I want one of those gavels.
That is the conclusion. Size doesn't matter, gentlemen.
It doesn't matter. Love yourself. Love your partner. Love your skill set. Learn to do more if your skill set is lacking. Meet a sex worker if your skill set is lacking. Because meet a pro to get pro level skills. Beats it every time. Well, you guys heard it here first. You heard it here last. That is the final verdict. And I'm sure we'll still do more episodes about this because guys are still going to argue it. But I almost want to take a poll of every woman I've ever known, and I swear it would prove us right.
True.
It's true. Okay. Well, guys, like, share, subscribe. Find us on social media. chat us in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Muse on the Mic.
Bye, guys.